Questions continue this morning surrounding the investigation into the shooting at the White House Correspondent Dinner in D.C.
This is like the Uvalde school shooter and a number of others I can go through. You wonder whether there was someone who knew in advance this person was headed down the wrong direction.
We are learning more about the alleged gunman who opened fire Saturday night as political correspondents gathered in D.C. for the annual White House Correspondents Dinner. And at 8:32, the suspect is expected to be arraigned today in federal court here in the district. Authorities say that Cole Allen wrote in a so-called manifesto that he was planning to target Trump administration officials. Many local correspondents were also in attendance, of course, as those shots rang out. And joining us live this morning is Elina Shirazi, senior political reporter with the Daily Mail, who was there at that White House Correspondents' Dinner just feet away from FBI Director Kash Patel. Elina, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I just want to start with this. How are you feeling today?
Allison, good morning. It's definitely been tough to process, kind of hits you in waves. But, like many of us journalists, we just try and document everything as much as possible and get the word out there. So I think that's what we've been doing, all of us just spraying into action. I mean, just 30 minutes later since the White House press briefing was announced. But I have to say that I've never experienced anything like that. Hopefully no one ever will. As you mentioned, I was sitting next to the director of the FBI. We were having a conversation. And before I knew it, I mean, the salads weren't even cleared off of the table. And I just heard Kash Patel grab my arm and say, "Get under the table." And we heard a few loud noises. I thought maybe there were drums or maybe more of the marching band coming in with instruments. Had no idea. He just pulled us under. And I just remember thinking, this is happening. And grabbed my phone from on top of the table, texted my family, my husband, tried to say, I love you. I don't know what's going on. We're hearing there's an active shooter. A lot of my texts weren't sending through. I was huddled under there with colleagues. We were grabbing each other's hands. We were trying to figure out what to do. And when you're there, I mean, your mind goes to the darkest of places. Right. Thinking about the Parkland shooting, thinking about what could happen to you. It's just horrible. It's devastating.
We covered a lot, but to be in that situation, I can't even imagine what you went through. Let me ask you, you painted the picture for us, but what happened then as far as security and how quickly the room was cleared out? I'm thinking also of those who were on the dais there, the president, the first lady. What happened after you got told to get under the table?
Right. So, I mean, Secret Service moved in very, very, very quickly. They tried to evacuate all of the cabinet members first. We had one sitting at our table, so we got a pretty good glimpse of how that sort of moved out. We saw Secretary Hegseth. We saw Secretary Bessent. Of course, everyone saw what happened with Vice President Vance and the president. They were obviously first priority there. Secretary Rubio, House Speaker Mike Johnson, everyone moved rather quickly, and no one really knew what was going on. There was a lot of moving pieces. And then I saw the FBI director be escorted out with his girlfriend. He was on the phone. He was also crouching down with us. And then he left rather quickly. And then we were just in a holding pattern, all of us trying to figure out as media what we were going to do next. We were waiting for updates. And I think it was about 10, 15 minutes later, we got one. And then 10 minutes later from President Trump's Truth Social. And that's how we figured out what on earth was going on that night.
Right. Before we let you go, we've seen this so-called manifesto from the alleged gunman here. Are you hearing anything else about any motives? Well, also, what happens next as this case moves through federal court?
Right. So with his manifesto, he detailed that he was willing to really go through anyone if he had to. There were certain people that he didn't want to have to shoot. He said that it was a political motive, as far as we can tell from the manifesto, from what I've gathered from my conversations with law enforcement, with sources in the FBI. This is almost certainly politically motivated. And actually, the FBI director was the only person who was not a target. So I want to follow up with him on that. A lot of questions, obviously, Allison, still outstanding. We know his arraignment is today, as you mentioned a few minutes ago. So we're going to see exactly how this will shake up. But certainly all of us very frightened and on edge, having to cover the president, of course, for the next few years as well. A lot of questions about security and how this even was able to happen.
Well, we look forward to you joining us in the future as you learn more. Elina Shirazi is a senior political reporter with the Daily Mail. Thank you so much. We're so happy that we were able to speak this way today.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.